I'd like to introduce the Director of Athletics, Deborah Yao.
Thank you, Chris. I want to thank everyone for joining us today for the introduction of our new basketball coach, someone who truly is a special person and a terrific coach. First of all, I'd like to thank our search committee, which is over to my right on the first row, for their efforts, and I also want to thank Chancellor Woodson for his support these last 3 weeks as we worked our way through this very important process. Learning of Mark's interest in leaving national broadcasting to return to coaching was great news. I've known Mark since he was 18, and I followed his career with great interest. Nothing he's achieved, though, has really surprised me. His tenacity and his focus are personal traits that will serve NC State well. And he shares our vision of returning State to national prominence. In a word, he's fearless. Coach Gottfried has the qualities we value at State and what I call the stuff. He's a builder of basketball programs, having led 2 collegiate programs to national prominence, including taking the University of Alabama to a #1 national ranking. He develops talent, he values graduation, he respects the personhood of the players, and he motivates them to achieve. He has a fiery attitude and a can-do spirit, and that's exactly what State needs at this time in our program. Even as a player, he was an overachiever, a freshman All-American, and leader of the Alabama team to 3 consecutive Sweet 16 appearances. Please join me in welcoming to Raleigh, to the ACC, and to the Wolfpack family, our new head basketball coach, Mark Gottfried.
First of all, let me say I am excited, extremely excited to be here today. And before I make any comments, I want to introduce my wife, Elizabeth. Stand up there, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the mother of 5. We have 5 children, 1 in college, 1 just graduating high school, and 3 in middle school, 7th, 8th, 9th, and she is extremely excited as well. This is a great place. You have great tradition here at North Carolina State. I'm very familiar with it, understand it, and I want to, with all the fans, cherish it together. I know where you want to go. I know where you want to be. It's to play for a national championship and be involved in the NCAA tournament. That's my passion. When I went to Murray State as a head coach in 1995, it was just 1 week after we won the national championship at UCLA. My goal at Murray State was to win a national championship. I believed we could do it there. And that's why I went there. And we had great teams. We went to Alabama, and I was there for a decade. That was the goal every day. How do we build a team that can compete nationally with anybody in the country? That's the goal here. That's why I'm here. Nobody is more important to me than these guys right here. Team. Because this right here, guys, is why you coach. I've been involved in coaching for 23 years, and for 2 years I've been out of coaching. I've done work with ESPN, I've traveled around the country, I've done 100 games on television, 60 this year. And what I miss is you guys. That's what I miss. Every day, working with players, not only to help them become better basketball players, but become better people, graduate, understand what it means to become from a young man to a man. That's why I coach. That's why I'm here. So we're anxious to get started, and again, tremendously thankful for the opportunity. Okay? Thank you very much.
Coach, the word challenge has been used by your athletic director yesterday in a letter, by your own press release today, and you talked about it there. How big of a challenge is it here, considering where it has been, and considering you're working in a triangle where basketball is pretty important and king here?
That didn't take long for that topic to come up. Second question. Let me say this. I've been around athletics all my life. My dad was an athletic director for 28 years at South Alabama. His brother, Mike Gottfried, was the head football coach at Pittsburgh, Kansas. So I have grown up around it. And every job in America in athletics has different challenges, obstacles, those things that make the job difficult. I'm not backing down from anybody here, period. We want to win. And this is a great league, period. I was a part of a great league, Southeastern Conference. And whatever those challenges or obstacles are, you've got to overcome them. You've got to beat them. You've got to be better than those obstacles, one way or another. And so for us, whatever the challenges may be here, you need to look them dead in the eye, and you need to say, we're going to go after it. And that's the way we're going to go about it.
The letter that you sent out to the Wolfpack Club last night didn't exactly suggest that this hire was imminent. How long had this been percolating? And is there any surprise element here that you were able to bring it to a close so quickly relative to when that letter got sent out?
I really, first of all, had difficulty believing that Mark wanted to leave broadcasting to come back into coaching. But once that became clear in a reality, I knew that I wanted to talk with him. The tremendous advantage for me is, as I said earlier, having known him since he was 18 and following his whole career. When he was an assistant at UCLA, we used to communicate even then, all through the years. So I knew about his passion and his work ethic. And I was one of the happiest people when Alabama was ranked #1 in the country. I mean, I wasn't an Alabama grad, but I was pretty happy about it, and it was because of him. So I sent the letter yesterday because I wasn't sure what the future held for us. Fortunately, he made a choice today to sign and to officially become our head coach. I don't have a crystal ball, and I had no way of knowing yesterday that that would happen.
I'm curious, Coach, if you view this as a rebuilding project.
Well, let me answer that question to say that I think anytime there's a transition, it's a process of, you know, obviously these players are players I need to get to know, and they need to get to know me. We need to build that relationship and build it together. And you have players that have signed in the fall. You've got recruits that have been recruited. So all of that's a transitional period. And certainly, you know, I guess you could say that's somewhat of a rebuilding, but I think it's just a process. We'd all like to snap our fingers and wave a magic dust over everything, and we'll just win 30 games next year. That's probably not the reality of life. It's a process that sometimes takes time. And you know, at the end of the day, I understand most people today they're not a very patient group of people. That's life. But at the same time, reality is it does take time to get things in place the way that you like to have them. It's in knowing that although some people may say, well, that's a tough job because of Carolina and Duke or this, that, and the other, I'm confident because of these two people right here that this is the right place for me. I would not